Well Verge podcast. Check it out. Well Pod's experience. All day, all night. Refine and redefine your life.
Congratulations on breaking records after records.
Thank you.
It is so amazing and so motivating to see all of that happening. And believe me, I've been a fitness enthusiast myself for the last 10, 12 years now. And I know what it takes being a working professional and then still achieving something which people call impossible. And you're just breaking all the barriers of being impossible, and you're truly unbreakable. Congratulations, we're proud to have you.
Thank you. So it gives me a kick, when you achieve something which people think it's impossible, it gives me a kick.
So, but then I think this kick is something which is lacking in a lot of people in India. Though we are growing so fast, the fitness industry is being said to be
Very true.
growing so fast. But then when it comes to results, we're still not
Yeah.
seeing a lot of results there.
Unfortunately. So
Unfortunately,
I normally mention this that we normally, address the youth as our asset of the country. But
yeah,
then सिर्फ बोलने से नहीं होगा. We'll have to work
yeah,
on it. The youth has to think about themselves as they are a confident person. They have to show some confidence in their own genetics, in their own
correct.
upbringing, because you're right. Because behind Guinness World Records, my major purpose is to bring awareness in youth that yes, we are able to do it and we can do it. And the most important feeling, which I think I need to, enlighten in people is I see there is a lack of patriotism in our youth. You go to any college, you go to any school, take a random survey, majority of them will study here and want to go abroad.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so normally we mention it as brain drain, but then this is actually harming us. So they should rather stay here. We are in a land, we have n number of stories of extraordinary people from this particular land. They have to know about them and they have to show respect to them by staying here and working for our country.
And I would like to put this here. Watching you hold those Hercules logs with a great that attitude, the personality, the grace with the everything was there. Please tell us about that feeling when you crush a goal after another. What is the difference in the feeling achieving another milestone after milestone? Is it any different, or how do you keep your uh, mind and mindset in those situations, and whenever you're preparing for it, going for another milestone?
I never go overboard in cherishing those moments because in my mind, I have already achieved those milestones. Because
Yeah,
all my stunts, all my records starts with my visualization. I
yeah,
visualize a particular stunt. I visualize myself doing that particular stunt, that particular record on that particular stage with a particular attire, with a particular song behind it. So everything is already scripted in my mind, and then I start
yeah.
practicing. So the
uh,
moment of achievement I've already seen in my life, kind of. So I
yeah.
never go beyond a particular level of I don't feel like I have to cherish it like anything, but on that particular day I decide that next 3 months, next 4 months, next 2 months I have to do something more. So that's how I decide upon.
How do you take failures? Because of course, achieving milestone is another thing, but then it comes with a lot of things along with it.
How my process actually the process I'm actually glued onto the process of building a particular record or building a particular stunt or training my students or something like that. But yes, y- people have just seen 17 Guinness World Records, but behind those 17 Guinness World Records, you can imagine how many failures I've gone through.
I'm
But
sure.
I don't mention them as failures. I don't think them as failures.
Yeah.
after every time I'm not able to do something, they kind of teach me a way out of it.
Right.
So I don't have to, put my brains onto it. How do I do it now? They only teach me how to,
How to do
get a
it.
way out of it. So
Correct.
that's how I learn from them. Yeah.
But
So apart from this 17 stunts, I do many other, breaking stunts and all that stuff. Even in my exam, so nutrition exam, or you say, my school days or college days. No, sometimes you don't get results as you expect. So that's okay. You learn from it. That probably my handwritings were wrong, were not right. You have to improve on that, something like that. So that's how it gives you an learning knack actually, and one has to be a student lifetime.
always, I think this is a very strong point that
Yeah,
you should learn to be a student
yeah.
rather than become a teacher. आज भी आई थिंक मेजर हाउस में यही होता है कि अगर एक यंग लड़का जिम जा रहा है तो पेरेंट्स उसे बोलेंगे कि बॉडी मत बना या जिम मत जा.
So I'll tell you what. So after any of my records or any of my sons, parents come to me with their child, just to click a picture, and they say, "Wow, see, this is Vispy sir." And when the kid says that I want to be like him, ये अपना काम नहीं है.
राइट राइट
So this
राइट
is where the parents are wrong. I understand. So I take a lot of parenting sessions also. The only problem is parents try to stop their kids do something out of love and out of care. I understand that. I respect that because first and foremost, they don't have that particular knowledge of that particular subject only. They should rather take guidance and ask the child to take guidance from that particular professional rather to
राइट.
stop that children, stop a child, they should guide child in a particular fashion. So this is also out of love and care.
Right.
There are different actions. So parents
Right.
should adopt this particular action more than that one.
Really wanted to put this question there. How important do you feel fitness and wellness play a role in creating a true champion? There are different aspects when it comes to achieving an athlete level, champion level achievement, like yourself. But what role does fitness and wellness play, particularly in that?
Fitness and wellness, forget about athletes. You
Yeah.
know, I would just mention, probably you would have heard about it. People have 10, 12 problems, 15 problems, 20 problems in their daily life. But
Right.
when they are ill, they only have one problem.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how important it is.
Right. So true. So
So
true.
take care of your health first. And I always mention people go to temples, people go to churches, people go to mosques, lie down, pray for hours, and do not take care of their health. This is
Right.
the only gift which God has given us personally. We
Right.
have to take care of that gift first. No point in going to different places.
Right.
Of course, you should go. I am not saying don't pray, but take care of this gift first.
Right.
Then they say, today I have junk. What is junk? What is the meaning of junk?
Right.
Today I'm cheating. Cheat who?
True.
Cheat yourselves.
So true.
So I don't understand all these things.
I think
Yeah.
all of this comes from a very strong mindset where because it requires a lot of discipline, it requires you to sacrifice on a lot of fun, a lot of joy in life, because fitness lifestyle is a very strict lifestyle. So how do you or what would be your one advice to people to actually build that mindset to stay consistent with a fit life and a healthy mind?
So normally when you say you have to sacrifice all those fun, you know, when you say that, you are sacrificing those ill habits which are going to harm this particular gift that is your body, which
So
I
true.
am very focused on. I am not going to harm my body at all.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying I'm disciplined, I'm not jailed. I'm not caged. Rather, I have the freedom to say no to all the wrong things.
Correct.
And when you are not disciplined, you can't say no, even to your friends also. भाई
Hmm.
एक ले लेना, एक ये खा लेना,
Right.
तुझे मेरी कसम एक लड्डू.
Right. Right. Right.
So
So
when
true.
you're disciplined, I
So true. But then,
so
uh,
when you're disciplined, you have the freedom to say no. That's very important.
and I think that is the most toughest part, to say no for a person these
It
days in
is.
society.
It is.
It is I even saying no has become such a thing that nobody wants to say no, thinking that what would the other person feel. But then they don't really think about not saying no
No,
them to another.
I would not accept this particular point because if you go and ask for help, people will say no immediately.
So true, so true, so true.
So it's a choice actually. So people
So
should make a choice that you need to take care of your health first, and then rest of the things will automate. There is a chain reaction after that.
correct. So
So
true.
I was always into sports. I was in with banks for 11 years,
Yeah.
and then one fine day I left my bank, started a small martial arts center with three students, and out of the three students, one was my son. When he
Wow.
was three.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. But I was very focused. Yeah, the question you ask when parents objects, when other people object, many a times parents are not the person, not the people who object. पीछे उंगली करने वाले बहुत होते हैं
So
parents
true.
को.
So true.
They are the problems. So
Correct.
I'm very clear. People who matter to me, they will never question me, and people who rather question me, they never matter to me.
Right. Right.
So one has to be very clear in their choices.
Very well said. Very well said. So, Vispy sir, what would you suggest the youth and working professionals today to stay consistent on what they make their goals when it comes to fitness and wellness? How can they actually stay consistent on it?
I think enough has been mentioned and said about consistency by all the educators across the world. I just want to say one thing that this generation, they don't want to get married, they don't want to get kids. They want to live their life to the fullest till they die. And for
Correct.
that, they need health, they need their bodies in a
Right.
fit condition. So be selfish,
So
okay?
true. And when it comes to combat sports, even me personally, I have been very fascinated by combat sports, MMA, but then it is very
Yeah.
undershadowed under other sports in India. So
In
uh,
India, yes. In India,
yeah.
yes.
So how
So
important do you feel combat sports can, eventually pan out for a person in general perspective of life?
So let's start from a kid growing up, say by three, 5, 6 years, 7 years. I always counsel parents and mention that do not compare between martial arts, swimming, tennis, cricket, badminton, football, etc. With due respect, all these are very good sports. I love them. I played a lot, state levels, national levels too. But when it comes to martial arts and swimming, there has to be a compulsion because these are the only two life-saving activities.
Ah,
It has to be a compulsion. And we know what is going wrong with women in India,
correct,
especially.
correct.
So just imagine if every girl child is trained thoroughly in martial arts for 7, 8, 10 years. Just
Correct.
imagine what would happen.
Correct.
So my mentor Akshay sir is also working towards this. He also wants women to train into self-defense, learn, keep learning about it. Because it's not about kicks and punches, it's about the mindset. And when a kid is into combat sports, he's sharp. or she's very sharp. That kid becomes very sharp mentally.
Correct.
So I'm sure Pratik would vouch for it because uh, CAs, those who play with numbers day in, day out, you must have met many CAs, those who are unfit, and many CAs who are very fit. And you can, differentiate between their mindsets. So
Correct.
that sharpness will only come when they are very fit, and combat sports gives you that edge. Forget about the medals and sports. Those are byproducts. They will keep on coming. And India is still the latest entrant in mixed martial arts. So I'm saying it will take time to come up. But let's train first. Let's go through the process first. So I'm with this Fit India movement, and I'm very pleased to mention that even Modi ji and Mansukh Mandavia ji, they are working on it, and they want all these sports to be part of their very early curriculum in school days.
So true. So true.
Even physical education, not the PT classes. PT classes, we all know what happens.
Correct.
Actual strength training education is also to be imparted in school days, with a very early stage. So they
Right.
are working on it, and I'm sure they'll implement it.
And how I see combat sports is not just sport. It builds you into a completely different individual, a very strong
Yeah.
individual, a very strong mindset, which I believe you can always use as a character to achieve
Yes.
different goals in your life as well. Which
Yeah.
I don't see coming up with sports like cricket, which is so popular in India. But like you don't see strength coming up there. The real strength, the strong personality that probably everyone should have, comes from combat sports. But yet again, it is
Yeah.
undershadowed. But then as you said, it is very good to hear that government now, Modi ji personally,
Yes.
they are working on it. And I'm sure we are gonna create some very strong youths in the future.
So yes, and over and above what you mentioned about the combat sports and all, this is the only art where I can, mention it at the top of my voice that this is the only art which can teach the core of discipline.
Correct. Correct.
Because from a martial arts point of view, you take out punches from martial arts, what will stay? There will be still kicks, punch, throws, everything. If you take out all that stuff, still last the discipline will stay with that kid, and that is what
Correct.
is required, especially for our country.
Correct.
And if you and you just go and study those kids, those who are trained in martial arts. For example, Russia, compulsory army training for 2 years. Israel, compulsory army training. China, compulsory army training. Those skills are way different than ours. This
Right.
is because of martial arts training.
So, Wispy sir, today, do you feel people are overestimating fitness and trying to achieve something which is, I won't say which is impossible, but they are setting their bar way too high, for which they have to go through a lot of supplements, steroids, and all of these stuff. People are looking towards there rather than putting all the efforts on themselves and compromising on what uh, actual fitness they can achieve.
Yeah, you're right. So what happens is people, a new guy come into a gym, they look up to a good physique person in the body with a good body, and they look up to him and just have a goal that in 6 months I want to be like him, or in
Correct.
1 year I want to be like him, or they unnecessarily see those actors coming on the screen and they want to have their bodies like them.
Correct.
So that's the problem. Every body is different. That's first. Every person has a different goal. That's a different question. Actors have a different goal set. They can go through all those shortcuts, and I always mention steroids are shortcuts for actors, not for
Correct.
bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are way
Correct.
different.
Correct.
As such, I'm against steroids, but I love bodybuilding. They
Yeah.
go through a lot of sacrifice, lot of pain, and then they become bodybuilders to be on that particular stage. That's a different story. But actors don't need to do that. Most importantly, they propagate a false notion that they are natural. And
Right.
young boys and girls tend to believe it.
Correct.
And what happens is when they don't reach even 10% or 15% of their goal, they get disheartened and then they resort to shortcuts like steroids.
Right.
So that's the problem.
Right.
The steroids and all the shortcuts. I would not say the steroids directly, they take shortcuts. Many a time they just resort to growth hormones and they say they are naturals and they will not do any harm to them. But eventually you're inserting something which is external in your body and it is going to harm you for
Right.
sure.
Right.
If you are not in bodybuilding, we should refrain from going to that particular level, to that particular level.
Correct. So probably the bar that these guys are setting is somewhere needs
Yeah,
to be shifted. Rather than compromising on fitness, they should
yeah,
compromise on the bar that they're setting for
yeah.
themselves. Because as you said, bodybuilders, when they take steroids, it is for a certain
Goal.
goal. Correct.
Yeah, and they know that they are harming their body, they are still doing it.
Correct.
So the first and foremost thing which comes to my mind is respect. That even after knowing certain things, they are still doing it for the love of the sport,
Right.
which I agree.
Right.
But you know, people just want to look good. They want to do modeling. They want to click pictures for Instagram. They
Correct.
are taking steroids. That's wrong.
Correct. And
Not
how do
only
you?
they are harming their body, they are harming their genes.
Yeah.
Once steroids are injected in your body, you are harming your genes straight away.
Right.
And we
Right.
don't want the next generations of Indians being weak.
Correct.
Because I'm trying to propagate that Indians have better genes. Please do not harm them.
True. So true, so true. When it comes to genetics, in our last conversation, I was talking to Mr. Bhupinder ji, who's the coach
Yeah,
for Mukesh Gehlot. So he was also, he also stated that genetics is one thing, it's okay, but then we really need to also look at the efforts as well
yeah,
that a person puts.
agree. And that the efforts are lacking.
Correct.
If you see the early 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, our youth was very strong, very robust.
Yeah.
Somewhere after that, after that era till 1980s, 1990s, the youth were weak. And again, it is speaking.
Right.
The youth are educating themselves about what is fitness, what is a good lifestyle. Now, again, the trend is shifted towards a healthy lifestyle. The genes are getting better because
Correct.
all this period, somewhere we Indians tried to imitate the Western culture.
Right.
We actually ruined our diet and nutrition
Right.
by copying them, and that's where we lost everything.
So true. And how would you rate rest as a key to success? Because
Absolutely. Without rest, you can't go ahead. It's not possible. You need to charge your body.
but with
The
the kind of
charging point has
lifestyle
to be there.
but with the kind of lifestyle that the youth is living right now, weekends is all about partying, weekdays is all about vaping. uh, all these things have taken over fitness in a way.
So it's a
So what's
choice
what's your thought
which
on it?
it's a wrong choice with which youth have taken up. So if you
Yeah.
talk about rest and vis-a-vis to vaping and drinking and drugging and partying, there's no comparisons, you know.
Correct.
So rest is a complete difference, discussion we need to go on. and rest is absolutely important to recover yourselves. If you do not take proper rest, if you do not take proper sleep, you'll look older, that's for sure. You know,
True.
then it doesn't matter how many bucks you spend on makeup and all, for especially for women.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they resort to drinking, smoking, and they uh, obviously they need to use makeup.
So true.
That's the
So
problem.
true. So
Rather,
true.
they need to preserve their beauty without makeups. They need to eat clean. They need to drink clean. They need to sleep well. Their
Right.
beauty will come out. They do
Right.
not, they will not need these makeups.
Right.
That's what I believe in.
So fitness could actually turn out to be a natural makeup for women.
Absolutely. What goes in comes out.
Comes out. Right.
So it's very simple.
But I think people are not letting go of these habits in their life because they're too involved there now that it is very hard for them to
Because they are not disciplined, because
discipline.
they cannot say no. That's the problem.
So, what's your one advice as we come to a closure to this talk? What is that one advice from Vispy Kharadi to the youth and women and working professionals to actually have to actually set a goal in fitness and then work towards it consistently? How is that possible, and what is your advice?
If you study what people are searching on Google, they search for anti-aging drugs, majority.
Correct. Correct.
And after resorting to smoking and drinking, they search for anti-aging.
So true.
So it's the opposite actually. Rather, what I just mentioned, eat clean, drink clean, exercise properly, sleep well. You don't need anti-aging.
Right.
Any anti-aging. So it's a hoax that any anti-aging drug will make you look younger. It cannot happen. It'll never happen. So that's how discipline will teach you. That's how you need to understand that you need to take care of your body.
Right.
If you're religious minded, God will never like that you are abusing this particular body and this is a gift given by God and you are abusing it. He
Correct.
will never like it. And if you're not religious, I can't help you.
so, so true. Thank you so much for gracing our platform. So today was a little about entrepreneurship towards the side of entrepreneurship and wellness. Thank you so much for
See you.
coming.